everyone, this is Maegan Lemp and I am back with the third video in the series on wellness while distancing, which are a series of demo videos that offer tools for you to learn how to take care of yourself at home doing self-massage. If you haven't watched video 1 and 2 yet, you might want to stop this and go back and watch those. Video 1 covers abdominal breathing, which is moving from a shallow chest breath and reorienting back to our natural breath, which is in the abdomen. That is the whole foundation for our self-care. Video 2 takes the abdominal breathing and builds on that by introducing how to use abdominal massage on your own abdomen so that you can care for yourself. There are 2 parts, 2 different options to video 2. The first video shows you how to work on your abdomen with your own hands. There's an option B, a second video, that teaches you how to work on the abdomen with a small palm-sized ball. This is great if you have arthritis or pain or limited range of motion in your wrists or elbows or shoulders. And this is going to be video 3, which builds upon those 2. And in today's video, we're going to cover how to ease tension, both physical and emotional and mental tension, and support our upper respiratory organs, the lungs and the kidney, which support our breathing, by working on the chest, the arms, and the head and neck. So, we're going to start in our most grounding position, which is placing one hand on your chest, just say one hand on your heart, wherever it lands is great, and the other hand at the core or root of our system, which is just below the navel. And we're always going to work with our abdominal breath. Again, focus on the inhale. And the exhale is like air coming out of a balloon. It's just an allowing process. So always start every time you work on yourself with a few really good deep abdominal breaths. And then we're always going to work on our abdomen first. And then you can move to anywhere else in the body that you feel like is necessary. So this builds upon the abdominal work. And we're going to start with our arm. For the demo's sake, I'm going to hold my arm up like this. And we're going to start at the elbow and work towards the wrist. Now, for you, if you're laying down, it can be next to you, rested gently on your abdomen. If you're sitting somewhere, it can be rested on the table in front of you. But I'm just holding my arm up for demo purposes. And for most of the techniques we're going to employ in this video, you're going to use what I call a C hand. And you're going to fit your hand in the shape of a C into your arm like this. Wherever it falls into the elbow crease is where we're going to begin. This is just about nurturing and moving chi. It doesn't have to be precise. And I'm going to move fairly quickly just so this video stays at a reasonable amount of time. But you might want to go back and watch this a few times so that you can get what I'm saying and move at a pace that works for you. So here we go. Let your hand in a C grip fall into your arm. Now, if you remember from the abdominal video, we're not going to use a lot of pressure. The arm, for some people, has a fair amount of musculature in it and actually feels good and like it's a release of tension to use a bit more pressure. So let your arm and your body be your guide. If you feel like you're hurting yourself or you're bracing and kind of toughing through the touch, then that's too much and that's not what we're going for. So we're going to move our fingertips towards our thumb in a squeezing motion, thumb towards the fingertips, and slowly just gripping in a firm but still pretty gentle way towards the wrist. Now, the thumb is going to be working down this middle line under the arm here. And this middle line is really related both to immunity and to mental restlessness. So make sure that you're really pressing with your thumb also at a pressure that feels nurturing and right for you. One more time, using our C grip, squeezing gently, working down the arm. Now, we're going to land at the wrist, and I'm going to turn my wrist over so that you can see what I'm doing. Whatever position feels comfortable for you to do this is great. And we're going to make little circles in the wrist crease right here. Again, don't forget to breathe. This is a great place for calming the mind, and you might start to feel an initial release of tension in the back of the head and neck, maybe a slight tingle or buzzing sensation in a relaxing way. Next, we're going to move into the palm of the hand, and I'm going to open it up like this so that you can see. We're going to start with small circles in the palm. I'm holding my hand a little bit stiff so that it stays still and you can see what I'm doing. But you want to probably just loosen your hand and just let it be limp. And let your other hand do the work. So the hand that you're working on is resting in the other hand. Not quite on the palm, more inside the fingers. And you're using your thumb on the top to move in a circular shape through your palm. Again, this can be done resting on your abdomen or at your side, resting on the table in front of you. And we're going to do the other side, again with a C grip, working from the elbow, squeezing together, making sure that the thumb is working on this middle line here. Gently breathing into your abdomen and releasing on the exhale. We're going to stop at the wrist crease and just do some gentle circles here. And out into the palm, starting with little circles and really opening up so that you're getting most of your palm here. Often this pad at the base of the thumb is quite sore, and the middlemost point on your hand where you started might also be quite sore. So just give those some extra attention if it's needed that day. Yeah, we're going to take a deep abdominal breath, just kind of reground. Next, we're going to work on the sternum, moving from just above the xiphoid process in your upper abdomen, working up towards your collarbone where your two clavicle bones come together here. You can use two hands. We're going to do a gentle circle motion like this. Don't press too hard. There's not a lot of flesh in this area on the sternum. You really want to engage and have enough pressure that you can feel it, but you don't want to hurt yourself. So less pressure than the arms. I like to use one hand here. Again, starting between the breasts if you're a woman here, right above the xiphoid process at the bottom of the sternum. Just gentle circles working your way up. Now, along this center line, as you're working your way up, you will notice probably 1 or 2 points, which we call active points, which means that they're a little bit more sore from the rest. And that's front of mind because I just found one right here. So pause and just work on it as you move your chi by breathing into your abdomen. Moving chi in the abdomen with abdominal breath is the root of moving our energy or our chi in the whole body. So that's always going to be the focus of the practice. As you work your way up, you're going to reach the top. Now, I'm going to lean in and I'm going to push just below my clavicle bone here so that you can see. Try and press around and find your collarbone. It's going to feel like a little mound. And what we want is to find the bottom ridge of that clavicle or collarbone and come towards the center. And when you come all the way towards the center, just off center, you'll notice that you feel a little bit of a dip or a valley or a hollow spot, and it might be a very tender spot for you. That's the next area that we're just going to do some gentle circles on. This area supports the kidney energy, and the kidney is our ability to grasp and ground. It's our most ancestral or root chi, and it really is important when we're talking about respiration. So we know that the lung is responsible for the inhale and the exhale. But in order for our breath to really ground and oxygenate our body, we need it to be a nice deep breath deep down into our system instead of a shallow breath. And kidney takes that Inhale and exhale from the lung and really roots and grounds that breath. Very important for respiration. So some gentle circles here. And then we're going to continue on. Again, find the bottom ridge of the clavicle bone. So not up on the ridge, come down to the bottom, right underneath it. And you can move in a horizontal back and forth, or you can do some gentle circles. I kind of like to do gentle circles. It just feels more nurturing to me. Now, if you have limited range of motion in your shoulders, or you're feeling a little like you're contracting with this, then treat one side at a time by using the opposite hand, like this. And what that allows you to do is actually work on your clavicle all the way over to the lateral side right in front of your shoulder. In the front of the shoulder here, as you work underneath the clavicle and you get laterally, you'll notice again that there's a little bit of a hollow spot, or it might feel a little tense depending on where you are and what you've been dealing with. And we just want to give that area some extra attention. That is where the lung energy stagnates or gets stuck. So again, we're treating our ability to ground our breath in the middle, and we're supporting the lungs by working on the side. So we're going to come to the other side. Again, find the bottom ridge of your clavicle here. Just some gentle circles, or left and right here, following as your guidepost that bottom ridge of the clavicle. And as we get over to the side, some gentle circles here. You might feel a little bit of a release in the back, your upper back while you're doing this. Remember that the front and the back are always related. So next we're going to support the areas that we just did in a different way. Make a very loose fist, a loose wrist, and a loose fist. And we're going to come and just do some tapping here. So you can do both hands. I like to just do one at a time, again working in the bottom of the sternum up towards the clavicle. If you notice that any spots are tender, you're not beating yourself hard. This is gentle. It might sound loud on the video, but this is a very gentle tapping. If you feel like you're hurting yourself, just find a way to do it more gently. And you can use both wrists to come from the middle out to the sides and then back again. Now some circles under the clavicle here. Again, not losing focus of your abdominal breath. Now we're going to use our C hand once again. Turn it towards your body and bring it over your shoulders here. So like you're gripping your shoulders here, you might need to squeeze a little or contract a little with your fingers just to hang on, or it might be that your range of motion is bigger and you can just kind of hold gently. Now, if this is not something that works for you, that is okay. Just go back to your grounding position and do a few breaths while we do this. So with your C hands, the C hand is going to have the thumb next to the fingers for this exercise. Just slide it gently wherever it lands over your shoulders. And inhale with some intention, and on the exhale, you're going to just gently squeeze that C so that you get a nice deep squeeze on your shoulders. And then start to move at a pace that feels right for you with your breath. Loosening that grip on the inhale. Contracting that C and squeezing your shoulders on the exhale. Good. Next, we're going to move up into our head. We're going to come back behind the ears, and we're going to work up and around the ears, move to the top of the head, forward, and then we're going to finish. So, behind your ear is what we call the occipital ridge. You're going to feel a ridge behind your ear. So just use your fingertips and feel around so that you can get oriented. You want to be starting at the bottom below the edge of that ridge, right in the sort of hollow spot behind the ears here at the base of that ridge. Just do some gentle circles. Odds are that this is going to be tender for you. So be very gentle with your body in this area. we're going to employ the same techniques that we did during abdominal massage, which is not to avoid tender areas, but just back off and be a little bit more gentle. Next, we're going to come up around the ears. So just like this, kind of vertical hands here with your fingertips behind the ears, working from that ridge in gentle circles up and around your ears. And when we get up to the tops of the ears here, really give us some nice big circles with some nice pressure. You can release a lot of tension in this area. You're still in the hairline. You're not in the front here on the face yet. Still in the hairline. Good. Next, we're going to draw an invisible line from the top of the ear up to the crown of the head and connect that with a line that runs from the middle line of the face up the nose and forehead and connects to the crown of the head. And rest your 2 C hands right in that spot. And we're just going to do some gentle circles. Now this is not a precise spot. I encourage you to feel all around that area because there might be some areas that feel mushy or some areas that feel really tender. This is one of the most important exercises you can employ to calm the mind. It really gets the blood moving, settles the mind, releases tension. It's very, very important. Again, if your arm's getting tired, just use one hand and you can switch off if needed. If you can use both, stay with it. We're almost done. We're going to stay with our C hands, again on that center line that we found, and just do some circles. We're going to work our way forward towards the nose, staying with that center line. When you get to the hairline, that's another important area. Give it a little extra time. Next, we're going to come to the middle of the forehead, pulling to the sides. Just let all that tension that you didn't even know you were holding in your face release. Again, sides of the nose, pulling away. Moving over the sinuses here. Again, you might find some tender spots. And we're going to settle in our grounding position. This is going to be the position you come back to anytime that you are noticing that you're in resistance to the present moment, that you just need a reset, that you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. Offer yourself one hand on your heart, one hand at your core, just below your navel. Thanks for joining me, and I'll post the next video in a few days. Be well.